Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, my name is Hon Adeyinka Ajayi. I represent the people of Odo-Oti, Ifelodun, and Boripe local governments. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, I'm from the state of Osun. Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very important motion, and I urge my colleagues to please approach our position on this very important motion dispassionately, devoid of sentiments. Mr. Speaker, it is clear that we have aviation interest versus national interest. That's very clear. Aviation interest dictates that the three priorities of aviation must be respected at all times. And those three priorities are safety, safety, and safety. Absolutely. National interest, on the other hand, Mr. Speaker, dictates that we balance conflicting interests at all times, and we place the interest of the country as the utmost priority. Mr. Speaker, we're talking about the airport of the Federal Capital Territory. And therefore, I do respect that every life, rich, poor, old, young, every life is valuable. But you would admit, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, that the lives that do fly in and out of the Federal Capital Territory are the creme de la creme of the society. Mr. Speaker, these are the lives of decision makers, the people who determine what happens next in the life of our country. Therefore, when we talk about the closure of the airport in that territory, Mr. Speaker, several considerations must be taken care of. Mr. Speaker, what is the issue here? We're talking about the repair of a section of the Federal Capital Territory Airport. We're talking about 25 meters. Mr. Speaker, the aviation community is global. The aviation community is transparent. The aviation community is accessible. We all know what happens the world over when airports are being repaired or runways are being rebuilt. Mr. Speaker, what is also of concern is that in Nigeria, we've had history of runway repairs where we've had forecasts of duration, possible duration, that have never been adhered to. Mr. Speaker, the Port Harcourt Airport is a recent example. The Benin Airport, also a recent example, where we have time frames being given to us, and those time frames are exceeded by several months before they come back on stream. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I think it's very important that we look at best practices globally and look at closures of airports for runway repairs. Mr. Speaker, there are so many of them. I have here examples from Dubai. I have examples from Manchester in England. I have examples of Gatwick, which was recently done. I have examples of Ghana, our next door neighbor. I have examples of Brisbane, where airport runways were repaired and there was no total closure. There were partial closures, some were done overnight. Mr. Speaker, I believe that these are options that we can seriously look at. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I do respect the fact that it is important that we have an alternate airport that is ready to take incoming traffic, and that is where Kaduna Airport becomes relevant. Mr. Speaker, I believe that in looking at this matter, if we sit down as stakeholders, we can look at how we can prepare Kaduna Airport for purposes of receiving incoming traffic at strategic times of the day, and look at how we can do partial repairs of these 25-meter sections. Because we have examples the world over where 60-meter sections of airports have been repaired and it's been done overnight, and some have been done in 2 weeks. Examples are there all over. The technology is there. We can afford it. Mr. Speaker, I don't think that just closing the airport is the option now. And I also do not believe that abandoning or jettisoning the preparation of Kaduna Airport as an alternate for incoming traffic is also a good idea. I believe that as stakeholders of the industry, if we sit together, call the experts, brainstorm, Mr. Speaker, I believe that the airports can be repaired partially, while at the same time we upgrade Kaduna to receive incoming traffic, being the alternate airport. Mr. Speaker, the airport in Abuja was built for 17,000 landings. Mr. Speaker, the airports that have been repaired world over, my dear colleagues, we've had airports that received 270,000 landings that has been repaired partially. How, therefore, can we begin to contemplate an airport that takes 17,000 landings to be closed totally? Mr. Speaker, I believe that there's still a little bit more work to be done by the stakeholders in this industry. We need to sit down and look at the possibility of partial closure, while we also at the same time upgrade Kaduna to receive incoming traffic at the appropriate times. Mr. Speaker, I believe that that would have properly balanced the aviation interest with the national interest. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to contribute to this motion.
I think